Hermosuras, ¿cómo están? I'm Yolis. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Latina tag, and I actually wasn't tagged. I just saw this tag and I thought it was really cool, so I tagged myself. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Question number 1 is, what is your nationality? And my nationality is Mexican. Question number 2 is, can you speak Spanish? And sí sé hablar español. De hecho, español fue mi primer lenguaje. It was my first language. I do know how to read and write in Spanish. I know how to speak it. And I wish that it was better, but I feel that way about my English as well. Sometimes I don't remember how to say something in English that I know how to say in Spanish, and then sometimes I don't remember how to say something in Spanish that I know how to say in English. So it's like, I feel like both languages for me aren't 100% perfect. I actually had like a really thick accent when I was little, and I didn't even realize it until one day we were watching home videos, and there was like this little girl on this, like, you couldn't see who it was. It was this little girl who like had a really thick Mexican accent, and I was like, who is that? Like, who is that? And then they pan over and it's me, and and I was just like, oh my goodness, I had no idea. But then again, I did like say certain things and people wouldn't understand me, and I had to like repeat myself over and over and over again. And I guess it was because of my accent that I had never even really noticed until later in life. Question number 3 is, what is your favorite dish from your country? And I feel like this is an impossible question to answer because there's just way too many delicious things in Mexico that it's overwhelming. It's really overwhelming. But if I had to choose, I would say probably enchiladas verdes, the way my mom makes them. Oh my goodness, you guys, they're so delicious. And I actually made them on my cooking channel. If you guys want to try them, I'm gonna leave a little like card up here somewhere so you can check that out. They are so good, you will not regret it. And also I love like street tacos. Like in Mexico, the tacos de suadero with the tortillas hechas a mano, they're just so delicious, you guys. They like melt in your mouth. I don't know how to describe it. It's so good. And this isn't a dish, but I love elote preparado, the way that they make it in Mexico. It is so good. And that's more of a snack. It's just so delicious, you guys. One of my favorite snacks in the entire world. Question number 4 is, name a household item that reminds you of your culture. And one of the biggest household items that reminds me of my culture are these blankets right here. They're so beautiful and colorful, and they're really easy to find in Mexico, and they're very inexpensive as well. I really love these blankets. Another thing that reminds me of my culture is vaporu, which is like, for the longest time I thought that's what it was called. It's the Vicks Vapo Rub little thing, and I feel like that was always the solution. And another thing is vitacilina. It's like an overall like aid cream that, I don't know, that was a really big thing in my household growing up. If you would get a cut or something, go get the vitacilina, go get the vitacilina. So yeah, those are just a few items that remind me of Mexican culture that I had growing up in my household. Question number 5 is, do you have plastic covers on your furniture? And no, I do not have plastic covers. I can't stand plastic covers. They're so uncomfortable and you get all sweaty, and I don't like plastic covers. But I do sometimes use blankets because I have dogs and they get their hair all over the place. So I do like to use blankets to minimize their shedding on the couch. So, I mean, I do in a way protect my furniture sometimes, but I do not use plastic covers. Question number 6 is, when is the last time you visited your country? And I actually visited Mexico last month, and I can't wait to go again. I feel like I'm already wanting to plan like my next trip to Mexico because I love it so much and I miss it so much already. Question number 7 is, what part of the country are you from? And my family, both of my parents, are from Mexico City. Question number 8 is, if you've ever visited your country, what is your favorite place to visit? I guess my favorite place to visit is where my family is at, because I love spending time with them and being around them, and Mexico City there's just always something to do there. And another place that I really love is called Tepoztlan. It's like this little village It's so cute, you guys. It's so colorful. There's like a lot of artistry. There's a lot of like little restaurants. And there's a mountain that you can hike up and it has like a beautiful, beautiful view. It's quite a hike though, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like it is worth it. And of course, I love Cancun, the Cancun Riviera Maya area. It's so beautiful. The beaches are so pretty and crystal clear. It feels like you're walking on baby powder rather than sand, and everything about it is just so like, I don't know, it looks like a little postcard. Like you're there and you feel like you're living in a little tropical postcard. So yeah, that's just a very narrowed down list of some of my favorite places to visit in Mexico. Question number 9 is, have you ever visited the capital of your country? And yes, I most definitely have visited Mexico City. That's where my parents were born and I still have family living there. So every time I go to Mexico, I stop by Mexico City and spend a couple of days there. Number 10 is, what is your favorite dessert from your country? And these questions are killing me. I feel like it's too hard to choose favorites because there's so many wonderful things out there that I love so much. But I guess one of my favorites is arroz con leche. It's so, so, so good. So I actually made this for my cooking channel as well, and I made like a lot for just me and my husband. And I ended up eating most of it in like 2 days. I mean, my husband had a little bit of it, but I was just like, it's very addicting, I don't know. Another one of my favorite desserts is pan dulce. There's just so many variations of it and they're all really, really good. Number 11 is, what haven't you visited in your country that you would like to visit? There's actually a lot of places that I have not been to that I really, really want to go and explore. One of them being Chichen Itza, which is one of the wonders of the world, and I feel like it would be really cool to see it. I can't believe that I haven't. Like, I've been to Mexico and I've been to that area a few times and I haven't seen it, so that's definitely something that I would really, really like to see one day. And the last question is, what type of music reminds you of your country? And there's so many different types of music that reminds me of Mexico. Of course, the like mariachis, definitely. If I hear a mariachi, I think of Mexico. Cumbias, I love cumbias, they remind me of Mexico as well. And a really random one that reminds me of Mexico is like EDM, like electronic music, because for some reason it's just really big over there. And sometimes when I would go to Mexico, I would hear one of those types of songs there that I had never heard in my life, and then I'd come back to the US and like a couple months later it was on the radio and I'm like, what the? So they were like kind of like on top of their electronic music game in Mexico. So that's the reason that that type of music reminds me of Mexico. Alright you guys, so that is it for this video. Those were all the questions that I could find on the Latina tag, and they were interesting. Some of them were pretty random, but I had fun answering these questions. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye!